Yes, day trippers. How are you? It is Tiago's father here, back again with another match reaction from the Red Sea podcast. Today, Liverpool have taken on Hertha Berlin, and it's not the result that we were looking for. But guys, it's only pre-season, isn't it? But the big man himself, the main man, VVD, returned, and we've got all the juicy gossip, all the topic. Hertha Berlin versus Liverpool Football Club. Roll the intro. Evening. How are you, my man? You keeping well?
Oh, I'm good, thanks, mate. Yeah, it was nice to watch Liverpool, wasn't it, for the second time, and to be back on Day Trippers. I've missed that intro. I really enjoy that one. But yeah, Liverpool.
Cool, isn't it?
It's good, isn't it, mate? Like you said, the result at the end of the day, Chris was on the intro that the pre-match live on Day Trippers earlier on, and does it really matter that we've lost the game? It's all about the minis for me, the little positives. Get Van Dijk, like you mentioned, is back, and we're looking at more where the team is right now, aren't we? So yeah, let's get into it, really, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not losing any sleep over losing to Hertha Berlin 4-3 in a friendly, in a preseason friendly. As far as I'm concerned, it's minutes in the tank. That's all it is. Minutes in the tank. Yeah, and as long as players aren't pulling up injured or they're not going down with cramps or so on and so forth, it's all good. It's all good in the Liverpool hood. I can assure you that. So let's get into it then. So first half, we seemed bright in the first half. Like we seemed like we came flying out of the traps and started really, really aggressive on the front foot. But we were pegged back by 2 goals from Hertha. Just talk me through those 2 goals and where you feel we could have done better or where the mistakes came from.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, Liverpool were really dominant, I would say, for the first half, really. I mean, they got their first goal after about 20 minutes, but it was basically their first attack of the game. We were dominating early doors. Harvey Elliott looked really good on the ball. He had a couple of chances where he'd kind of just swung at it with his left foot, or maybe he could have played Mane in, but he wants to make an impact and show what he can do. But yeah, it was a free kick from Hertha Berlin. It was a bit like the Maldini Istanbul free kick, that kind of position, whipped in from the right, a left-footed inwards cross. And yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one because it's a great delivery, but we're always critical as Liverpool fans. We have to dissect every goal, and I think we could have done better. I think if that's an Alisson in goal, he could have maybe come and collected it and claimed it. And again, if could the centre backs have done more? Possibly, but it was right over everybody, right to the back post, and bundled in. And Kelleher made himself as big as he could, but the Hertha Berlin player got there first and took a whack for his troubles. He had to go off straight after scoring the goal through injury, so hopefully he's okay. But it was a difficult one because we'd been so good up to that point, but it's things like set pieces that are going to be rusty, in my opinion, from pre-season. You can practice them, but realistically, Liverpool pre-season, the free kicks that you're practicing defending are the free kicks you're used to defending because those players, those set pieces, those drills because you're on the other end of them when you're doing the attacking. So if Matip and Kanate are used to defending a set piece, it's probably the same tactic in training when they're attacking it. So when you come up against different teams, different set piece tactics, different players that you're not used to playing against, then I think that's something that takes a bit more time, and maybe we were a little bit rusty, especially from that one for the first goal.
Yeah, I understand. And ultimately in training in pre-season, that's going to give you that variety that's going to obviously expose you to different kind of free kick set pieces and get you ready for the season. I'm not really too fussed, to be honest. I have to say, it's a loss. It's 4-3, but in the year that we won the league, we didn't win anything in pre-season. So
Yeah.
Let's not read into it too much, Trippers. So, guys, you're absolutely smashing the comments. I want to get into a couple of comments from you guys as well. You guys are showing massive support in there as well. Whilst you're in those comments and you're smashing that, please hit the like button as well. And if you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe. And not only to Daytrippers, you can find us two over at the Red Sea Podcast on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We haven't got Facebook yet, but I can assure you we will have a Facebook. So you can find us all
it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. You can't get away from us. You cannot get away from us. Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. Right. So, yeah, restoring VVD and Gomez, the best thing to happen in this match. Obviously, there's still enough time to improve before the new season kicks off. Delwyn Jones, major contributors. Good to see you in the comments, lad. Thank you for following us along to Daytrippers and also following us along to the Red Sea Podcast. Statman Stubbs is in the comments as well. You can catch Statman Stubbs over at the Red Sea Podcast with us. He's one of the teams. Evening, lads. Plenty of positives to take away. VVD and Gomez back. Salah looking sharp as ever. I totally agree with you, Statman. Chris, how are you, pal? You all right? It's good to see you in the comments as well. I heard you were doing your bit for the side and doing the pre-match also. So thank you for joining us on the afters bit where it gets real tasty because the Red Sea Podcast are on. Of course, it gets tasty. So I think 3 goals conceded are avoidable. Mild frustration with lack of clinical edge in the final third. I have to agree with you, mate. And that was kind of the issue last season, wasn't it? Defensively, given all our woes and all the chopping and changing and 21 centre-back pairings, we were still good defensively. We conceded less goals than Manchester United. We conceded less goals than a lot of teams in the league. We were just falling foul from that clinical edge. But I feel as pre-season goes on, as we get into the season, our strikers will find their form. But Diogo Jota looked real sharp. Having been one of the guys that's sort of last to come back into the fold in terms of pre-season, he looked sharp. I mean, that little mazy run in the second half was unfortunate not to get a goal at the end of it, but he was busy. I mean, what's your thoughts on Jota's performance?
Yeah, for me, Jota's one of those players, one of those athletes that doesn't need so much of a pre-season. He just looks natural. He looks ready. Anytime he wants to, you want him to get going. He's a little bit more, I don't know, seeing him play FIFA and stuff like that. He just seems a little bit more like a normal, more easier to relate to. I feel that obviously everybody needs they're all pro athletes. They all need weeks and weeks of recovery and to get into the game. But I just feel Jota's of the Milner breed that you can just, come back after a week on holiday after playing a full Euros and just smash it and carry on where he got to. Do you know what I mean? He's got that feel that he can just slot back in. And I think the fact that Robertson was behind him on that side is a little bit helps as well. You've got someone that is up and down, and Robertson's very similar to Jota. He can just slip in. I think he came back. He came back a similar time as Jota, and he's gone straight in as well and started playing minutes. So I was really pleased with Jota coming in, and he's only going to get stronger. And if Bobby isn't going to come back in time to start the season, then Jota, Mane, Salah isn't too shabby, is it?
No, not at all. I mean, Jota, Mane, Salah, mate, that's still a phenomenal front three, and they were putting up trees when Jota came in last year as well. Chris, again, big up you in the comments as well. I think Robbo is in the same boat. He has natural fitness. And there's a lot to be said for that. We look at players like James Milner who are looking after their body. And again, for the 50,000th gazillionth season in his career, he's still the hardest worker in training. Fantastic. Midnight Toka? God, what a name. Midnight Toka. How you doing, bro? That's a bit of a mouthful, but we roll. Looks like Jota has put the work in on his break. Come back ready to go. He does. He looks firing as well, and it's good to see as well. Bonkers LFC dropped that comment in at the bottom there as well. No Origi today.
Yeah.
I think personally that's not too much of a bad thing because me and Divock Origi are done. Divock Origi's dead to me. After not scoring a goal all of last season and missing that absolute sitter, you're dead to me, bruv. Like, it's time. The time has come. I'm sorry. The time has come.
Yeah, there's a little knock, apparently, the reason he wasn't there today. But I think we had a similar reason why Wilson wasn't in a squad. And then suddenly he was on his way. So read into that.
Yeah, well, look, guys, all of our views are our own. We're not regurgitating anything. But you heard it here first. SS thinks that Origi's on the move. You heard it here first. So I don't know, like, do we get too hung up on this? Is there the ability there that as a fan base we sit there and we start to implode almost, because there's been a lot going on this year in the transfer window. Are we linked with this person? Are we linked with that person? Liverpool are going to do this. Liverpool are going to do that.
Yeah.
We haven't done this. We haven't done that. And it's just like, calm down. It's pre-season. Relax.
Yeah.
Let's actually dissect the game and find positives.
Yeah.
That's the thing you've got to do with this. Break the game down stage by stage. First, second, third, fourth quarter in the game, by quarters. Find the positives in the game. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, getting back to the game, because it's almost become a little bit boring with the transfer rumours. I mean, at the start of the window, it was quite exciting. There was rumours that you thought, okay, that makes sense. Yuri Tielemans and then the Sal Niguez thing. And then you start seeing, Mino Raiola is offering Paul Pogba to Liverpool. And you think, okay, I'm done with the transfers for a little while. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until there's actually something going on, because I can't just jump on whatever rumor's going to come out. I mean, I genuinely believe I could tweet a rumor out and make it up completely and just put like some random reference, and by 3 hours later it'll be all over the place. So it's lovely to do a video about a football match and the players that we have right here, right now, and talk about them. So like you say, we went 1-0 down after 20 minutes. 10 minutes later it was 2-0. And again, it's pre-season. Both the goals that they scored were good, but we're Liverpool Football Club and we shouldn't be conceding 4 goals in a match. I know it's pre-season, etc., 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 and it's not the end of the world, but we have to look at it to learn, because that's what pre-season is for. So you can't just say, "Oh, it was a good goal." It happens. We have to look at it and think, could we have avoided it? Like the question that you asked. But their second goal, again, I think it's a good move. They play the ball into the penalty area. The guy does a ridiculous finish. It's a crazy angle, and he absolutely blasts it past Keller. The goalie's got no chance. But could we have avoided that happening? That the build up to the goal, there was a lot of passes involved. Could we have done more in midfield to cut that out? And could the defense have been a bit tighter? I see James Milner running across to the guy that scores the goal, and I'm thinking, well, should it be James Milner or should it be Matip or Konate getting in his face? And
fair point.
Besides the Konate, if he puts his body between a ridiculous angle and the goal, it becomes very, very difficult to score from there. But the fact that it's a James Milner just a yard off the pace, all right, he absolutely belts it into the top corner from a silly angle. But you have to look at these bits. If we want to be the elite team in Europe, every single goal needs to be avoidable. So I agree with Chris. There's at least 3 in there, even though they were good goals that we should have avoided. But the good thing about pre-season, and the good thing is that we can talk about the positives, and to come back from 2-0 down is a test that I wanted us to pass, and I wanted us to use that, because there's times that will happen in the real season, and we now know that we can. It's not the end of the world. We're 2-0 down in the first half, but we know we've played well. We've dominated the game. Trust the plan. Trust the tactic, because it will flower in the end. So to see us come back to 2-2. I'll get into the goals in a bit, but Mane and Minamino on the score sheet, and I think that was the least we deserved going into half-time, really.
I totally agree with you. I just want to throw a couple of comments up here. And there's one spurious comment in here from a Ras Malai. Please throw that one up there for the viewers.
Ras Malai, where's that one? Can't see it. Hold on. How long ago was that one? There's a lot of comments.
9:32 p.m. from Ras Malai.
Oh yeah.
Throw that one up. This one, mate. What a stupid question. Am I sure I'm a Liverpool fan? No, Ras. I just wear the red shirt for banter, bro. Of course,
and the one in the background.
And the one in the background. And the 20 in the cupboard. Come on, mate. Behave yourself, son. But Ras, it's a pleasure to have you joining us. Please like and subscribe. Yeah, please, please, please. Lock in. Follow us over at the Red Sea Podcast. If you don't let the door hit you on the way out. Anyway, let's move on nicely. FC Barcelona in the comments as well.
Yeah.
City will win number 8. Okay. Don't know what FC Barcelona are winning next year with no players, but we'll move on. Yeah. Guys, please like, subscribe, smash the comments as well for me. Really, really enjoying seeing you guys up in there as well. So let's hit on some of the goals then. So obviously we had Minamino on the team sheet, which was on the score sheet, which was good to see. Now I'm a big fan of Taki. Obviously, You think otherwise, but I feel he should be given more opportunities at the club as well, which I think will come to fruition, because I can't see him moving on in the summer as well. I mean, what's your thoughts on his performance today and how he kind of went about his business today?
Yeah, so I mean, 45 minutes of Minamino in the false nine. He came off at half time, and 45 minutes of Chamberlain in the false nine. So how are we seeing that? That's probably where both of them are going to get most of their minutes this season. You know, we'll get a Firmino back, obviously, as the first choice false nine, but maybe that's what Klopp's trying to see, that can Minamino and Ox fill in that position. And as you see right now, even with Jota, Mane and Salah all in the squad, it's one of those two playing in that position. But again, it's, you know, I know you like him, but for me, he just always looks a yard off the pace. He always arrives a second too late. And, you know, there was a chance early on, and, you know, it's a half chance, but again, I always feel like I'm being kind. You know, if you want to be ruthless, if you want to be a number 9 for Liverpool, you've got to take every chance. And it's a shot from Salah.
He's not a number 9, though. He's not a number 9.
He's not. But where else does he fit in this Liverpool team for me? So if he's going to fit him there, Klopp obviously has had a think and thought, well, if I'm going to play him in a 4-3-3 with a 6, then realistically he's a 9, a false 9 for me. And Salah cuts in, the goalie parries it out. It comes to him quite quickly, but again, he just doesn't react. And you know, it's a perfect opportunity to just whack it in an empty net, but he's just a little bit slow to react, and it just balloons off him. So again, I just don't think he has the quality to be at Liverpool Football Club. And I know that's harsh, because I know he came in a really difficult time, and he's not really been given a long period in the team. And when he has, he's been surrounded by an average age of 17. But I think he might be given a chance. I think we might get to January again.
He's got to be. He's got to be.
He might be given a little bit more time. But yeah, for me, he's a dead man walking. I don't think he's got a long-term future at Liverpool, personally. I don't think he's a good enough player.
At the end of the day, the way that I see it, £7 million is a risk-free transfer. Again, look, Ramsco, great comment. And we referenced this on a previous pod as well, that he needs to gym up a bit. But has he been given the opportunity to actually gym up a little bit, to actually get those minutes in the tank? This is going to be his first pre-season, which isn't broken up by COVID and so on and so forth. So I think we're going to see a different Taki next year, personally. I do think we're going to be more versatile and more fluid in our formation as well. I can see sometimes going into games 4-2-3-1, where he would fit perfect. We might go 4-3-3 in some games. I feel we've now got the personnel to actually rotate and be confident and comfortable with what we're actually doing. Just want to throw up another comment in here as well from Aidan Andrews. No, sorry, let's go with this one here. Charlie,
okay.
With Charles. Nice to see you in the comments. Thank you very much. Taki is too soft, too slow, too small. What is he the best at? I don't think we necessarily need him to be the best at something, you know, Charles. I feel like we need a squad. Yeah, we need a squad. You know, a squad isn't necessarily about competing all the time. It's about being available. And if there's a game where, for example, we need to rest our top players, I think he's an able understudy. I'm not looking at Taki thinking that you're going to displace Firmino, or you're going to displace Mane or Salah or Thiago or Henderson or whoever. He's not that type of player. He's a player to play in bursts and moments.
Well, let me ask you this then, James, in terms of these two comments here. So I've got a comment from Kev. Taki doesn't fit in a 4-3-3. Obviously, there's a bit about Origi as well, but Tony then mentions the 4-3-3 is tired. Why can't Klopp show flexibility? So just to throw a question at you.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of Minamino staying at this club, if we stick to a 4-3-3 like we have done forever, I don't think he fits. But are you of the opinion of Tony that, you know, realistically, to fit him in, we need to be more flexible? But then I see players like Shaqiri that's never really fit in and is probably on his way out because of that exact reason. So if Shaqiri's not good enough to build the team around, then for me, Taki isn't either.
I think personally, we need to show variety. And if you look at some of the signings which we've made, i.e. Konate, it shows a little bit of variety there, where Klopp's looking at it thinking, do you know what? I don't just need Van Dijk to be able to go out and play game after game. I need someone who's going to come in which maybe not is as good, but the drop-off in quality isn't so steep. I think personally, Shaqiri's a fabulous player, but I think Taki can be better.
Statement.
Yeah, no, I think he can. Shaqiri's made let's have it as it is, guys. Yeah, Shaqiri's made a fantastic career of being that guy in the squad. Yeah. Basel, he was the main man there. From Basel, he goes to where did he go after Basel? Bayern? Bayern.
I think was it Inter first and then Bayern and then Stoke and then us? Yeah,
Inter. Goes to Inter, doesn't really tear up trees, and this is the Italian league. Doesn't really tear up trees. Goes Bayern, somehow gets the Champions League at Bayern. Somehow, obviously, the league is a guarantee. Dasha Kopal as well. So he's winning trophies. From there, he goes to Stoke, and he's the main man, but he's not really tearing up trees. The occasional free kick banger here and there, and the occasional link-up play with an Arnautovic or whichever rusty pro was at Stoke at that particular point, who he was linking up with. Yeah. But he comes to Liverpool after Stoke have been relegated, and he's never really torn up trees, is he? But he's just been there along for the ride, and he's walking out with a Premier League, a Champions League, a Super Cupper, a Club World Cup.
True.
He's going to retire and go, look, lads, I've won everything. do you know what I mean? So
as a bit part player.
Yeah, as a bit part player. This one here from Vase of Flowers, fantastic. Yep, Taki has potential. Shaq is finished here. That for me is the stone cold stunner. Yeah, that is it. Right, off the top rope, clothesline. The point's gone now. Taki's just got to, when he gets the opportunity, he's got to take it. And with respect to USS, after the Palace game, he was great in the Palace game, and we were all thinking, Taki, no. Like, is he starting to?
Palace were that bad. I think I'd have got a hat trick that day, so I don't think you can use that one. But I think all the players that you're mentioning, you know, I mentioned on Redmen TV the other day that if you're going to keep backups, you need to keep the homegrown ones, because we know what the quota is. And if it's Ox/Minamino/Shaqiri, then I'm sorry, but Ox for me is the choice, because you keep your backups as your homegrown, so you can have slots of a foreign player to bring in of a bit of quality. So there's no point keeping Shaqiri and Minamino and then being like, oh, we can't bring in Tielemans because we're maxed out on the foreign players. Keep an Oxlade-Chamberlain because he's no worse than them, and he doesn't take up that slot. He's a bigger squad.
He's better.
I agree. He's better, and he's English, which helps.
Yeah, Ox is better. I'm not sitting here thinking. I don't want anyone to sit here and think that I'm saying Minamino's the beginning and end and he's the best thing since sliced bread, because he's not. What I'm saying is that he serves a purpose. Yeah, he can play a role. Yeah, and we need that variety in our team. We need the variety. Delwyn Jones, great point here. Ox will definitely stay. I feel that if he builds up his minutes, he may be even and like we said before, and then we were discussing on Redmen as well. In the year when we went to the Champions League final, Ox was getting in ahead of Ginny. Let's not forget that.
When he's in form and he gets a run of games, he can reach those levels. We've just not seen it. He's got Adam Lallana, exactly the same as Adam Lallana.
Consistently. We've not seen it consistently, and he was getting in ahead of Ginny. Ginny was the guy who was hugging the bench.
Yeah,
and then Ox gets the horrible injury, and like model pros should, Ginny took his chance and was a mainstay. Yeah, and built the trust with Jurgen Klopp to say, I ain't gonna get injured. I'm gonna be available. 38. I'm going to be here regardless. Whatever you need, I'll be here. So can Ox now build a bit of trust with the manager? Not necessarily to take that Gini Wijnaldum role, but we're seeing him being deployed as a false nine. Klopp obviously sees some quality in him to play him there. Vase of Flowers here as well makes a really, really good comment. Just at the bottom here, SS 9:45. Ox, Taki, Jota, back up to Bobby Mane. Salah. Fair point. And I'm not being funny. I don't know how I'd feel about an Ox, Taki, Jota combination lining up. That's heart palpitations all over.
Maybe one of them with two of the others.
Exactly. Or maybe two with one. I think I feel like they need someone to hold their hands. Do you know what I mean? Kev O'Sullivan smashing your comments as
problem,
well.
isn't it? I think that's the problem for me. You know, you look at players like Vlahovic has been linked. He could just come in and do a job no matter who. You know, I could imagine him playing in a cup game and shining, even if he's surrounded by youngsters. Whereas I think Taki, you know, he's had lots of games in the cups and never really done anything. You know, he's looked bang average against League One defenders for me. So I've never seen enough, and there's never been enough trust. And clearly, Klopp feels the same. He had to loan him out and to see what he was like. He's never really fancied him in any of the big games. So he's only really ever, I know it was a risk-free transfer, but he's only really ever risked him in the games that don't really matter. It might be a dead rubber in the Champions League. You know, it's very rare that you see Minamino start in the Premier League last season for us before he went out. I know occasionally, but, you know, only really when it's December and it's a game every 2-3 days and you have no option to do that. So it's a tricky one for me. Again, getting back to the game, you know,
But facts, though, before we move on, he scored more goals last season than Origi.
There you go, then.
I'm just saying he scored more goals.
I'd get rid of Origi. I mean, there's a good comment. There's a couple of good comments here. I want to throw a couple at you here, mate. So this is something that I've been talking about recently. Homegrown, runs more than any other player at the Euros. Plays for Liverpool to run more than any other team.
Yeah,
is that not a perfect Genie Wijnaldum replacement?
Oh, 100%. The problem is it starts with a 1, ends with an O, and another O in the middle. That's the issue.
No, it doesn't. No,
mate,
it doesn't.
Listen, I'm telling you, Leeds. If you want to go for him, Leeds are going to have your pants down. You are going to listen. If we try and sign Calvin Phillips, we are going to be paying for Leeds' stadium expansion. I can assure you that. Yeah. They will literally inscribe on the side of the wall, courtesy of John W. Henry. That's what they're going to do.
We'll have to ask our mate at the Adelites about it when we get him back on again, see if it's a potential. I know he'll shoot us down. But again, if we was to bring in a Phillips and a Vlahovic, for me, I'd be so pleased, because I feel that's all we really need this summer to kick on again. And maybe next summer we look at a striker, you know, to replace Firmino long term. But if we can bring in a couple before the end of the window, I'll be very pleased. But obviously getting back to the game itself. That man Jovetic comes on, doesn't he? Gets a good goal. He likes scoring against us, but
he loves it. He loves it.
Yeah, Adrian comes on, and for me, every time Adrian plays, I don't care who the defense is, there's just no confidence in him whatsoever. And I feel that
Elwyn Jones is in here with the comments as well.
all it does, it just, anytime Adrian's on the pitch, you know, we saw it. We had Van Dijk and Gomez against Aston Villa, but everybody knows that Adrian is terrible, and I'm struggling to not swear because he's that bad. So
let it out. It's past the watershed. Let it out.
I just don't want to. I know Kelleher is a massive drop off from Alisson, but I can handle it. He's okay. He's up and coming. He's young.
Yeah.
Adrian is so bad. Like he's so bad. Honestly, what is he doing at the club? It's just they weren't necessarily his fault, but there's just no confidence in the defense at all.
No, it's his fault.
Yeah,
it's his fault.
I mean, the first one with the header, he just stays on his line, and you've got to come out and close. If you stand on your line, you know they've got quite a big target to aim at, and you know Van Dijk, he's come back after a year out for 20 minutes. Jovetic ties him up in a bit of a knot, but you know Van Dijk again, he knows that if they get a shot on target, they score. So he's just trying to make his body big, and because he knows that if Alisson's in goal, he can go for that tackle because Alisson's probably going to save it, but he knows that he has no trust in Adrian whatsoever. So he's playing hole in the wall. He's literally trying to make any shape he can to stop that shot from going on target. And you know, they defend in a different way, is what I'm trying to say. You know, we don't concede 7 against Villa with Alisson in goal. That's basically what I'm saying.
All right, so is this a good time to force my Karius agenda?
No, it's not. Don't go there. Not on this show. I can't do it again. Move on.
Smash the comments for me. Absolutely smash the comments. No. I have got a Laureus Karius agenda. No. Smash the comments. Is Karius better than Adrian? Go. Smash them comments. No. Absolutely annihilate the comments, because I am going to force my agenda. I'm going to force my agenda. And you will listen. You will listen.
Mate, Karius won't be at the club come the start of the season, and hopefully Adrian stays as a third choice and leaves in a year's time. Anything more than that, I'm worried.
Yes, look, we've got a yes in here. We've got a no. All right, it's 2-1. Yes, 2-2. Keep smashing them comments.
Terrible. Guys, you are allowed to say both of them are terrible. You are allowed to say that. You don't have to pick between how you die. You know, you can just say I don't want to. I want to live.
look. No, Carrier streaming on Twitch. Oh god, it's gone off in here.
Where it belongs.
Delwyn Jones, no comment. No, Delwyn, I am not going to allow you to sit on the fence. You started this. Pick your side, son. Pick your side. Elf, how we lose 4-3. We lost 4-3 because we had Adrian in goal, bruv. Yeah, Thiago's father 89. Bye from Daddy Pig.
Thanks, Daddy Pig.
I'm not on Daddy Pig's Christmas card list anymore.
I'm a big fan of Daddy Pig. Top guy.
Oh wow, Gene. Flash this one up. Gene Dion Locke, Adrian Pickford. I'm here for it. Love that. Absolutely love that. Yeah. One underneath that as well. Both as terrible. I'd still take Karius. Yes, my man. Love that as well.
Because you don't have to take him. Like we're Liverpool. You're allowed to have a bit of quality in our team. Honestly, and I agree with Statman. I'd rather have what is he now? 45, Dudek. I'd rather have him.
Yeah, man. Old spaghetti legs, massive. Oh look, there you go. Karius. So from Apnarg, Karius is defo better than Adrian. Listen, just to close on this, and guys, I really, really appreciate you smashing the comments in here as well.
That was a good reaction.
Karius is better technically than Adrian. Yeah, the difficulty is that Karius doesn't pass the popularity contest because of what happened all those years ago. We don't want to relive it. He just doesn't pass the popularity contest. Shane Dow's in here as well. Fantastic comment as well. Rather see Petaluga as third choice. Yes, Petaluga is a phenomenal talent, and I can't wait to see him grow through the club. Free Worldy
is exactly what I think. Spot on.
Would you like to be shot or stabbed, Karius or Adrian?
Doesn't matter. It's the same result. Whichever one you play, we lose that game.
Pick your death, Adrian or Karius.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, what we got coming up? We've got Bologna, and it's apparently 2 60-minute games. So I don't know if we'll be doing the Red Sea one for that or not. It feels a bit more pre-season training friendly. Other than that, we've got Osasuna. We've got Bilbao, and just to let everybody know, me and James are going to the Bilbao game. We're going to do Red Sea full time from Anfield, so definitely check that one out. That's going to be mega. So we're going to be out and about. Anybody that's in the comments that maybe is going to the game, come and find us because we're going to be doing content for our own channel as well. But we're going to be doing day trippers right here and outside Anfield after the game, which is going to be amazing. But yeah, just looking at the remaining friendlies. I hope after that Bologna game, which again, it feels like there's going to be 2 11s, you would probably expect to see Karius or Adrian. Well, probably not Karius, Adrian in one game and Kelleher in the other. But hopefully, there was a good comment coming in saying one of the Brazilians and Henderson and Thiago back. I'm hoping for those Anfield games. I'm not sure, but if we can start to give Alisson a game against, say, Bilbao and Kelleher the Osasuna game, hopefully we won't see Adrian anymore.
Well, Thiago arrived back from pre-season yesterday, along with Shaqiri as well. I'm not sure to see how long Shaqiri is going to be in the camp for, because it seems like he's made it abundantly clear that he wants to move. To be fair, and all respect to the lad, he's telling man and saying that he no longer wants to be a bit part player. Maybe he's kind of realised that his career is dwindling, and it's time to kind of move on a little bit. I think that Thiago will have a couple of sessions in pre-season, and we may see him in the Bologna game just to get him warmed up for the home games at Anfield, Bilbao and Osasuna. It would be good to see Thiago in those games, solely because he didn't really play much in the European Championships. He was kept out by a Sergio Busquets, and rightly so, because Busquets was fabulous, and Pedri as well. Pedri was fabulous as well in the Euros, and Spain almost looked like they didn't know where to fit him in. But it's good news because he's well rested. There you go. Who's that behind the stat? Statman Stubbs. 2nd of August, I think the Brazilians are back. Henderson back. Not long. So Monday, we're looking to see those guys back in pre-season training, which would give them a fair chance of being involved in those 2 games. There you go, Kev O'Sullivan. Thank you again. Thiago didn't play much, so he should be able to. Same for Henderson. I agree as well. It'd be nice to see those guys in there as well. It'd be nice to see those guys in there also. So definitely. I just want to just talk about our centre back pairings as well, because we saw a couple of centre back pairings tonight. So guys, in the comments, absolutely smash the comments. Who do you want to see as your centre back pairing going into the first game of the season? It's a question which we ask quite often, but it's just trying to really get an idea of where we're at. Do people want to see Konate and Matip? Do you want to see Virgil and Konate? Do you want to see Gomez and Virgil? Who do you want to see? Kevin Ball's in there, strikes while the iron's hot. Konate and Matip. SS, talk to me. I mean, from what you've seen so far in this pre-season, also in today's game, who do you think will be the centre-back pairing come the game at Norwich?
Yeah, I mean, we played 3 centre-back partnerships today, which is memories of last season. How many centre-back partnerships can you fit in? But Matip and Konate started again. They started the game against Mainz. They started again today. They seem the 2 that are the fittest, are the most ready to play, and are the closest.
Hold on. Matip and fit do not go in the same conversation.
Yeah, that's probably fair. But I think in terms of if we're building for that Norwich game, we need to pick centre backs that can play 90 minutes, because when you play Norwich, you haven't got 6 substitutes. You can't just change 6 people in the second half. Realistically, you don't sub centre halves, do you? So we're basically looking to see which 2 are ready on August the 14th, I think it is, to play 90 minutes. And the only 2 that are really there is those 2, is Konate and Matip. They're going to be the 2 that start the season. We saw Van Dijk and Gomez today come back together, which is great, because not only are they coming back individually, they're coming back as a team. They're getting used to each other. Oh, it's 20 minutes. I know it's not that big a deal, but you would expect that to build. So you would think these 2 60-minute games coming up, maybe we'll see Konate and Matip again for one. Maybe we'll see Van Dijk and Gomez for the other one. 20 minutes becomes maybe half an hour. Maybe they'll have a half game with Phillips and Williams, who came on first. The other 2, but I think that's kind of going to be the order. I would imagine if everybody was fit, that Van Dijk and Gomez would be the first choice. I would think Konate and Matip are the second, and I would think Phillips and Williams would be the third. Okay,
no, big claim there. To say we've just spent £36 million on a centre back, and to say that he's probably not going to be starting is a big claim. I mean, Jamie up in the comments. How you doing, pal? It's good to see you. Thank you for locking in, my man. Konate and Matip start against Norwich. I think that's unanimous, and I think that we kind of agree as well. I've seen some really good banter comments in here as well. Did someone say Lovren and Klavan? Oh my god, are you trying to get me to fall off my chair? Seriously. There's another great one here
behind well. That would come 20th in the championship, I think.
Yeah, man. Oh, God. If VVD and Gomez are fit, it's them. But Matip is a plus one. Now, I agree. Obviously, I feel like VVD and Gomez are our choice partnership. They've got such a strong bond. I don't know how many of you have been keeping up with some of the training videos on LFC Go and also on LFC on the TV as well. But the relationship between Gomez and Van Dijk is super strong, and I don't know if anybody caught that bowling video as well, which was quite good bants as well. And guys, I'm really feeling like the Liverpool loungewear. I know that we've done a kit review, but I might have to review some of this loungewear, because they're about to take all of my money when I go to the club shop. I'm being honest, they're about to take all of my money.
We're up there very soon, aren't we? I'm sure we'll have a little look in there.
Yeah, oh God, I know what's going to happen. We're going to end up getting into a vlog of how Thiago's father's just burnt £500 in the club shop. Easily. Jesus Christ. But yeah, guys, keep smashing the comments. Keep smashing the comments. So just plugging it on slightly before we close. We've been on 40 minutes. We're going to bring the show to a close really shortly. Just give me your overall assessment of some of the new up and coming talent, because that Gordon looked a little bit lively as well, which was good to see. But who else really caught the eye for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one, because I was looking at the subs that they made around the time that Van Dijk and Gomez came on, and I know next to them anybody looks small, but the likes of Clarkson, Gordon, Morton, they come on, and yes, they've all got a little bit about them, but they just look so small and so skinny. Like, I can't imagine Clarkson's a good player.
Yeah.
Gordon's a good player, but you know,
Yeah.
you come up against Norwich in the first game of the season. Look
Yeah.
how strong Salah has had to become. You know, when he
Yeah.
broke his collarbone against Ramos, and
Mm.
at the start when he first came in, you know, he was all about pace and finishing. And once
Yeah.
you know, once the second season came around, people were just physical with Salah, and that's why we saw not really a dip, but he didn't score 44 goals, and
Yeah.
he realised that he had to be stronger, he had to be more physical.
Yeah.
We see pictures of him, you know, in training, and he's absolutely huge now. He's so big and strong, and I just think some of these lads, it's more along for the ride in pre-season. If I'm brutally honest, I think when Henderson, Thiago, and the Brazilians come back, they're not going to be anywhere to be seen. Some of them will stay in the under 23. Some of them will go out on loan. But yeah, I think the one that's caught my eye the most that is worth talking about is Gordon. I think on the ball, he's exciting. He looks sharp. He looks fast. He looks interested in getting the ball and running at defenders. He looks confident. I think the other ones come on and they're a little bit timid, a little bit nervous, but understandably, you know, you're playing for Liverpool Football Club. Like, that's a big deal, even if it's pre-season. But I feel Gordon's got that little bit about him, a little bit like a young Sterling when he burst on the scene for us, you know, 17,
Very
18.
good comparison. Very good comparison.
Yeah, it makes me feel a bit like that. A little bit, you know, rough around the edges, of course. There's bits and pieces, but he's got that raw natural talent that does shine through. So I think the others are not quite there. I think I don't know. It's too early to judge if they can make a stamp on this team at any point. Definitely, probably not this year. But for me, Gordon looks like the one. If I had to say, my money's on him to get more games than any of the other youngsters at this team in the future. So yeah, I think the other ones have got work to do. They need to build themselves up a bit bigger. Some of them are 17, 18. That will naturally come as they grow anyway. But I don't think any of them are really ready as it stands. And, you know, we saw Trent come in, and there's always comparisons made that, you know, but let's pick someone out of the academy and chuck them in. But it was very much circumstantial. Nathaniel Klein was our only right back. He went down with a season-ending injury. I think we'd already started the season. I think we were playing in the Hoffenheim Champions League qualifier. And Trent was the only right back at the club that was fit, and he went in and he scores that goal from the free kick, and, you know, the rest is history. Gordon caught my eye, but I know you caught the second half as well. So what, you know, who caught yours?
Gordon as well. To be honest, he looked lively. To be fair, you know, Harvey Elliott had a great game. Also seems pretty standard for him at the moment. He seems like he's having a good patch of form as well. Darwin Jones has flown in here. Curtis Jones played well and better than the last game. Like, Curtis Jones is a conundrum for me. Like, every time he gets on the ball, I'm just waiting for him to chop back. And every time he does it, it's like, why would you not just commit the defender? Just commit him. You've got the dribbling ability. You possess it. Commit the freaking defender, lad. Push him back into his box and give him something to think about. Oh, no. You chop back. You're looking for a pass. Drive into the box and do something.
Do you know what it is? You know what I think it is with Curtis Jones? I think he's come through. He's a Scouse lad, and he's got so much self-belief and confidence that I agree with you. Nothing wrong with that, but he was almost overdoing it. And like you said, I think you hit the nail on the head on our show. He doesn't do the basics enough. And I think Klopp has absolutely got onto him. And that's why we didn't see him as much in the second part of last season. I think he said, you know, Curtis, I love the confidence. I love how you play, how you express yourself, but you need this bit. And I think Curtis Jones has almost taken a little bit of a knock from that. I don't know if he's taken that. I think we've lost. He's tried to take all that advice on from Jurgen, but I think we've lost a little bit of what made him break through in the first place. So I think he just needs to find that right balance. He
plays with a swagger. Yeah.
He plays with. I don't think he does now.
He plays with a swagger. He plays with a charisma. I like that. Yeah, I like that in young players. It's that boisterous confidence. Just, you know, that, like, I've got balls. Yeah. I've got ball, and there's nothing wrong with having big balls, but do the fucking basics, son. Do the basics. If you can do the basics,
there's a player there.
There's a player there, 100%. The best players that or have long Premier League careers are 7 out of 10s. Yeah. If you can be a 7 out of 10, week in, week out, you'll have a long Premier League career. Yeah. If you can be a 7 out of 10, then add a bit of quality on that, you'll be a top draw player. And that's all it is. Just do your sevens. Just do it. You've got it there.
We need it. He's got an 8 and he's got a 2, hasn't he? We've seen both, and I agree. I think we need the balance.
Yeah, 100%. And you're going to get that with young players, aren't you? That roller coaster, that high, that low. I get it. But last year was a breakout season for him. Yeah. Last year. Listen, they don't call me Thiago's father for nothing. They don't call me Thiago's father for nothing. If you're ever doubting me, head over to my Twitter and check out my Techers video. I've got Techers in abundance. I'm sure I can teach Curtis a thing.
Challenge, guys.
Yeah, but just do the basics, lad. That's all I want from you. And I'll stop getting on your back. I'll allow you to just do whatever you want to do. Yeah. Right, hold on. Here we go. Paul Smith. Pull that comment up.
He doesn't agree with you.
The black guy in the beard, please stop talking nonsense about Curtis Jones. Paul, I'm not sure if you're aware, but if you look just down here at the bottom, it says my name, Thiago's father. Yeah?
Yeah, true that. True that.
Listen, at the end of the day, my opinions on Curtis Jones is he doesn't do the basics. Phenomenal talent. I really, really enjoy watching him, and I feel that he has a future at Liverpool Football Club. I feel that he could play a role in that midfield of Liverpool Football Club in years to come. Yeah, but as of now, do the basics right, and you're gonna flourish. Totally, you're gonna flourish.
Right. But we'll be back, won't we? We'll be back for the. I think Bilbao is the next proper game.
Yes.
For us to review. So yeah, guys, we'll be back. August the 8th, I believe.
It is August the 8th. Yeah, August the 8th on the Sunday. Yeah. As my co-host said, we are going to be doing match reactions outside of Anfield. So, guys, if you are at the game, come over, find us, have a chat with us, meet us. We'd love to introduce ourselves to you guys as well. Even if you want to jump on with us and give match reactions while you're there, you'll be more than welcome.
For ourselves, aren't we? I mean,
yeah, more than
one
welcome.
Thing I wanted to say before we finished is, guys, go and follow us at the Red Sea Pod on Twitter. So you know what everything's going on. We've got our own show. We've got our own YouTube channel, our own Twitter. That's where we are. But we're here. We've got a great partnership with LFC Daytrippers. So we're going to be here all season long. Every match reaction this season is going to be a Red Sea podcast takeover over on Daytrippers. So guys, go and find us on Twitter. Go and find us on YouTube. Subscribe, follow. Don't miss a thing because we've got some great content coming out.
Definitely. And as I said, guys, thank you so much for jumping in the comments. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Great.
Before you leave, do not leave that exit door without dropping a like or a subscribe on this channel. Daytrippers are doing some absolutely fantastic stuff. They've got some real good stuff coming up as well. Please, please, please look out. And guys, hit that bell button as well so you get notifications for when the stuff's coming up too, so you don't miss anything. Really, really appreciate it. Guys, look forward to seeing you again in the comments soon.